It's PMAC Movies back. My gosh, PMAC's making a video. Looks like I've only made a couple videos here in the last couple months. So like a video a month maybe. I have all sorts of stuff that I haven't shown. We got a puppy. So that's been a lot of work. I don't really have a whole lot of time to make the videos, or like I have to do something with the puppy while I make the videos, and he can't really be in here. So it's a little tricky, but eventually, you know, maybe if you want to see the little guy, maybe I can make a video with the little guy. He's a little Pomsky. If you go on my Instagram, you can see some pictures of the little cutie. His name's Avery. And yeah, take a look at my Instagram. The link should be, I believe, in the description section of the video. But I have all sorts of stuff that I've gotten. I don't know that I've shown much of this. I mean, it's possible that I did. I didn't look through everything. I do see a box set over there that I never showed that I have to go grab. There could even be some stuff on the shelf. Yeah, we might have to do a little walk around the movie room. Maybe not, though. But I got a bunch of stacks. Some of this stuff over here I haven't shown. So, yeah, quite a bit. So we'll take a look. I'll tell you about some deals that you know, you can get. You can keep an eye on. Maybe they're not going now, but if you keep an eye on these websites, you can find some beer me's. So if you enjoy these videos, hit the like, and I definitely appreciate the comments. Hopefully you haven't forgotten about PMAC over this summer. So let's take a look. Where do we start? I just have stuff all over the place here. Amazon has these regional coupons, and some of the items are way overpriced, so you don't want to beer yourself in those. So you basically find the link. Use Blu-ray.com, the bargain section on the forum, to find the different links. So there'll be like movies, there will be like 30% off coupons, 25, 20, 15, 10. And sometimes the items drop in price into a good price range, plus you get the coupon. So like during the Criterion sale, there were some pretty good deals with stuff dropping down to good prices, plus a coupon on top of it. So that was really... That's something to keep an eye on for sure. So I got this classic movie put out by Sony. I thought the Slippy was good, but it looks like it's a little bit, it's better than the other one. This was actually a replacement. So it's Cary Grant in The Talk of the Town here. So for my region, I was able to get, this dropped to 15, plus it had, I can't remember if it was 20% off or something. So it was a pretty good beer me. It did actually, after I purchased it, it dropped down more. Like it dropped to $16.50, then it was $15, and then it dropped down to $13.50. So it was actually $1.50 cheaper after I bought my copy. But what can you do? Kind of a pain in the ass keeping track of the price drops and everything. But this is one, I don't know, I've had this for a little while. Maybe I showed it, maybe I didn't. This was another one with the coupon. I think with the coupon, it ended up being around 15. It is Legends of the Fall. This was supposed to, it said in like the description that it had a digital copy, but it didn't. So you got to keep that in mind when buying that. Let's see. So Mano Macabro, I like to get a lot of those. So we got Strangler versus Strangler. So a lot of these Mano Macabros went down to like 16 and change, and then they'll cycle the coupons. Like sometimes it'll be 30% off, and sometimes it'll be 20, and sometimes 10, sometimes no coupon at all. So this one is one that I was keeping an eye on, but it wasn't like at the top of my list. But then once it got the 30% off code, and it was like 16 minus 30% off, that brings it down to like 10, 11 bucks. And I don't think it's going to be cheaper than that. So that was the time to go ahead and beer. I'm just going through my stuff here. Do we have more Amazon snags? Yes, we do. So this is one that, this is a film, is it Film Movement. So Film Movement puts out some Asian stuff, and you know, Film Movement is now a partnered label with Vinegar Syndrome, so you can get their stuff half off during sales. You can get slipcovers when they're available. So this one, I believe the slipcover sold out. It is The Poetry of Lee Chong Dong here. This is 4 movies. One of them I do have. I do already have Poetry, which Kino put out. I don't have the other 3 movies. Now, I think this at half off would be like $35. So Amazon had this for, I believe what it was like $37, but then it had the coupon on top. It was probably like a 30% off coupon. This ended up being a really good price, quite a bit less than the 15% off. It was around 25, like mid-20s, somewhere in there. So that was a beer me, and it is, each movie has its own disc. So that was a good snag there. What else do we got here? I don't think there's any more in that pile of the Amazon ones. We got some Hamilton book. That's some pawn shop stuff. I forgot about that stuff. These, I might have already showed these. I don't know. I've had them for a while. So Shrek 4 movie collection. This was like around Amazon Prime Day, so this dropped in price and it had a coupon. So this ended up being very affordable. I don't remember the exact price, but it was something I was somewhat interested in. I paired it with a couple things and got it for a real good deal. Then we have Sorcerer. Now again, I may have shown this already. This was during the Criterion sale. When this dropped, first, the Blu-ray dropped to like $14. I was like, I might as well grab it. Then the 4K dropped to that price, like $14. I snagged it, canceled my other order. You know, this is the 4K Blu-ray combo. Of course, they did get it to me in not great condition there. I think I complained and they ended up giving me something. I don't remember exactly what. I still ended up paying a little bit. Ended up paying like around $10 for it. One of my favorite movies of all time here. We have, and this sold out pretty quick apparently, the limited edition 4K of Dark City, which I kind of, for this one, I love the movie so much, I kind of wish I got the Blu-ray too. I think the Blu-ray set also sold out. This was a huge seller for Arrow, so I wouldn't, it sold so well, you're gonna see more releases of this, I would say. But this is a 2-disc set. It has the director's cut and theatrical cut on 4K. Just taking a look through. It has a lot of special features. This is a great movie, great sci-fi movie, right up there with Matrix. To me, this would be a little bit higher up than Matrix. But both, I love Matrix too. So this is a big one. This was a big release. As far as the artwork, I'm not a big fan necessarily of the artwork, but and it does have like the poster and the book. Actually, maybe I should use the poster. Should put that up in my office. It's not like I'm ever gonna sell Dark City, so there's no like keeping the value of it sort of thing. So this is one I actually tried to cancel my order for. I decided I didn't actually want it, but I think I'm just going to keep it. I don't feel like sending it back. It's a Vinegar Syndrome one. It was like 17. It was marked down to 17, and it had the, I believe, 30% off. So it was a pretty affordable deal, and it's 2 Italian movies, Spectres and Maya, which it sounds like they're both kind of I do tend to like Italian stuff, but I'm not sure how much I really need these. They do each have their own disc, which is nice. So I already opened it, so I'm probably just going to keep it. It ended up being, I think after tax, maybe it was 14 something. So maybe like 13 something before tax. There's that one. This was one that just went down in price. It wasn't one that I was planning on getting. But Amazon marked this down briefly to like 10 something. I think the deal might have came back, so you might still be able to get it. Maybe not, I don't know. But it is The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 on 4K. I do have the regular Blu-ray of this, but I figured for $10 I might as well snag it. I did watch the movie. It was okay. Nothing spectacular. Let's see. I did get this from Amazon, Dr. Cheon and the Lost Talisman, which again, the movie wasn't actually that great. I watched it. Got the slipcover. This was like a used one that I bought, but I believe the disc was mint. I got a pretty good price on it. I think it was like $8. There's a bunch more in these stacks that I haven't shown on here yet, I don't think. They're just everywhere. Movies are everywhere. Another one when they marked down Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Now, this is a movie I really, really like. I love this movie. It is John Travolta and the General's Daughter. And I had just got the Blu-ray of this, which is the first time I watched it. Usually I wouldn't necessarily spring for the 4K unless it got marked down a lot, which this one did. I think it was down to like $12. And I figured it would still have the slipcover. So for a movie that I like that much, I went ahead and got it. Of course, the slipcover's kind of pretty beat up since it's coming from Amazon. But I really love that movie. And so I snagged that. Let's see, what else we got over here? I think we're good with these stacks over here. On the floor, however, we got all sorts of stuff. Amazon Prime Day, I got this Seinfeld, the complete series Blu-ray. Now, I don't know if you know about this release, but the Blu-ray is widescreen. The 4K is like the normal, like the original how it would have been on TV. So that's definitely preferred by people generally. You do have the black bars on the sides, but that's how it originally aired. But I got this for quite a good price. How much did I end up paying for this? Jeez, I don't know. Was it 60 something? This was like a used copy, and it was used acceptable or something. But it looked brand new. Like, I opened it up. I looked over every disc. There might have been a few light scratches, which you would get even on a brand new product. The box is in good condition. I was like shocked with how good this was. And yeah, it was like, I'm thinking it was in the 60s, and maybe after tax it was over 70. Seinfeld, one of my favorite shows of all time, baby. Let's see. Some other box sets. So some of those, I think, like the Shrek. Actually, the Shrek did not have one of those coupons. The Shrek was actually marked down and buy two, get one. That's what it was. And this was one of the ones I put with it, this Todd Slaughter indicator set. So I ended up getting these just for a great price. And then I got The Brutalist starring Adrian Brody also, which is, somewhere in these huge piles of movies that are everywhere. I think I actually saw it earlier, but I don't remember exactly where it was. This is the PMAC way, folks. But I justify it. I get good deals on everything, even though I'm spending quite a bit of money still. All right, so maybe I'm just going to go through stuff at this point because we're kind of moving a little bit slow. I did get some pawn shop stuff. So there was something on the door that said old stuff was 50% off. And then I guess the Blu-rays were still supposed to be $3 a piece. But I'm like, a lot of these Blu-rays have been here for ages. He ended up doing them for $1.50 a piece. I got Waiting for Forever. The case is cracked. I actually have to put that in a different case. We got a Well Go one, Bitcoin Heist. We got Being Flynn with Robert De Niro and Paul Dano. Elephant White with Kevin Bacon. This one I might already have. I don't know. This one might have been a dollar store one that I got. Like, I'm thinking it may very well have been. A Night in Old Mexico. We got The Immigrant. Bachelorette. I do already have this, but I didn't have like the actual case and artwork. Dark Crimes, and this did come with the digital code. And then, of course, I do already have these movies on 4K, but I got the Guardians of the Galaxy 2-movie collection with the digital code for both movies and the Blu-ray. So this one can actually go in the sales pile. We'll throw that over there to be sold eventually. So those were all the pawn shop ones. So Sony recently had a sale on their Please Rewind store on eBay, which is they haven't had many deals recently, but you do want to keep an eye out because like last year, it might have been around this time, they had like a really great deal where you could get 4Ks, and they had a lot of Sony stuff, and you could get it for like $8 each, box sets, heavily discounted, really, really good. This time, not that good. There was a pretty limited selection. They were 40% off. So I got things like I Know What You Did Last Summer. This ended up being 10 and change, I do believe. I do have the Blu-ray, but not the 4K. Again, I have the Blu-ray of this one, but decided to go ahead and get the 4K. A League of Their Own here on 4K Blu-ray combo. And then I did get this Ghostbusters set. I would recommend for you to get these separately, which I actually could have done, but I didn't realize it. Or maybe they added them after I bought this. So these are in one case and they're stacked discs. Let's see. I think I have them in here. Let me see if I can find it. So this is what the actual case and discs looks like. So it's got both movies in the one case, which is good. I like condensing like that. However, they're stacked discs. So you have the two 4Ks on this side and the two Blu-rays on this side, and of course that results in scratch discs and whatnot. But so this I believe this was like $24 for that, so that was a good price. But it would have been about the same getting the individual cases. So if old PMAC had to do it again, I think there was there one more Sony? Yeah, there was another one. So I Still Know What You Did Last Summer was the final one. This one, I think, this one might have ended up being a little bit more. This one was 11 or 12, I think. It did come with the slipcover, which is in pretty decent shape. Okay, so that was only a few there that I got. Some other odds and ends. I got the Diabolique trilogy. This was one from Target Buy Two Get One. I did watch the first movie of this, which the picture quality seems so pristine. These are pretty nice looking movies. As far as the story and stuff, I thought it was just average. But as far as like the look of the movie, I thought it was pretty impressive. And it kind of goes for like that old style sort of thing. Man, there's like spiders in this room. Must have a nest of spiders in here. What the hell's going on? From Amazon, this one dropped down to, I think, $13.50. This will probably go cheaper, actually. Maybe I should have waited. 3 The Hard Way here. On Blu-ray, we got Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, Jim Kelly. $13.50 for that one. Joe Masiello sent me over some stuff recently. One of which was Death of a Unicorn here on Blu-ray. An A24 one. I was watching this, but I fell asleep, so I got to go back and watch that one. There was a few other ones that he sent me. Let's see. The Monkey he sent me, which is a really cool one too to send me with the slipcover, which I thought that movie was decent. I think I might have given it 3 or 3.5 slippies out of 5. I liked it. You know, it was similar to, I guess, what I thought it would be, more or less. I'm trying to get through these quick because there's so many. They're everywhere. Movies everywhere. Here on PMAC Movies. You know how I do it. Here's another Amazon one, and this one did. So this one dropped in price and had a coupon. Might have been 30%. I had just bought this with slipcover on the Vinegar Syndrome sale for like $21-22, but I was able to get it for like $13 without the slip, which I was fine with. Corpse Mania. It's getting to the point with the Vinegar Syndrome slipcovers that it's unless it's a big seller, the slipcover isn't really like, you're not going to be able to sell it and get rich off it or something unless it's like a flying off the shelves, and then everything gets re-released anyway if it's a big seller. I'm just taking a look at this because like the case is broken. So this is another one Amazon gave me some money back for, because I actually got home and found it, like it wasn't on the porch, it was like off the porch. I don't know how it got there, if they just like chucked it or what, but whatever happened to it resulted in the case being broken, the artwork a little bit torn. I don't know if you probably couldn't see it, but the artwork's tore right there, and the case you can see is broken. And then like this, it still has the booklet, even though it doesn't have the, but you see that's torn. It has the booklet without the slipcover, so that's good. Okay, moving forward here. Another one that Joe sent me. He likes to send me these A24 ones, and I like to accept them because these are nice additions and the movies tend to be pretty solid. It is Bring Her Back. This one I haven't watched yet. It's hard because Charmy's home all the time, and she definitely wouldn't go for something like this, so I have to be able to figure out when I can watch it. I did get a couple things from Goodwill, which is very rare lately. I got Swingers on Blu-ray. Wasn't sure if I had this or not, and I indeed did not. I have seen the movie years and years ago. And then I got this Sandition here for $3. This is actually just the first season. I don't know if I would have bought it. I thought it was like a mini-series, but it actually has several seasons. Looks like something me and Charmy could definitely watch together, but if I'm not necessarily going to get every season of it, I don't know. It's 6 hours on 2 discs. I mean, good deal for $3, but did I really need it? Do I really need any of this stuff? I guess you could make a case that I do not. I did get a favorite growing up, Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. I remember this being on TV after it would be like football on Sunday during the day, and then there'd be, I think this and Sequest might have been on at the same time. And I would usually watch this. My brother would watch Sequest. But now I have them both on Blu-ray, which is really cool to be able to go back and watch them. Oh, those are the days, the 90s. I mean, we're talking like early to mid-90s. Just awesome. Like, the nostalgia is just thinking back to that time. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. And then I got Manifest, the complete series. This was in the 40s, which I thought was a pretty decent price for it. How many seasons is this? 5 seasons? I forget. I have watched some of this. It's pretty good, pretty decent so far. Usually it has like how many minutes it is on it, but maybe I'm just blind here. It's quite possible. We can't waste too much time with that. Manifest. I think it was like $48 on Walmart.com, and it was quite a bit more on Amazon, and then they matched the price eventually, but I did get it on Walmart. Sneeze. I could feel it coming. All right, I did get some Hamilton book stuff, too. We got a Hamilton book order that I have not showed off. I usually make a Hamilton book videos, but I don't believe I did for these. First, one DVD, I got Twin here. This is a mini-series. It's Norwegian. So I find that stuff kind of interesting. It does have somebody from Game of Thrones in it, that dude there. But this was only like $2. So I grabbed that one. And then we did get some Shout Factory and stuff in this sale for quite affordable. We got Home for the Holidays here. This was $5. Body of Evidence, which is out of print, it looks like. And this was $5, I think, also. That has Madonna in it. This one was $6. American Gothic. This is a Scream Factory. And this one has Rod Steiger in it. So that's an interesting one. 6 Bones. Do we have any more Shouts? I guess that one would be considered. This is one that they've had on there. So this is a Shout Factory IFC Films. But it was a price drop. I think it dropped down to maybe $3. It is Rebel in the Rye here. Nicholas Hoult and Kevin Spacey. Rebel in the Rye, about the writer of Catcher in the Rye. One that I was really glad that was up for $5, I believe, was a fairly recent movie, and I do like Dan Stevens. He is in Cuckoo here. This is a Neon release, so I was glad to be able to get this one. Looks interesting. What else we got in here? This was one of the Canadian releases that they had. That's one of the great things about Hamilton Book is they do get this stuff that we didn't get a release over here. This is Megan Fox in this. It is Subservience here. That was $6. We did get John Cena and Allison Brie in Freelance. This was $5. Do like to watch some John Cena. Allison Brie, not half bad also. This one was, I believe, $5 also. It is Casey Affleck and Lawrence Fishburne in Slingshot. This is a decal release. I finally got the Scorpion release of The Killing Box. This has been... I've been considering getting this for ages at a cheap price, and it dropped down to like $2. And I said, okay, it's time. It's time to get The Killing Box. This actually has quite a cast. Corbin Burnson, Adrian Pastor, Martin Sheen. There's some other people I recognize on the back. Also, Ray Wise is in this, so that's quite a cast there for that one. I got this one for $6. This is another one of the Canadian releases. We did not get a U.S. release. Liam Neeson in Ice Road. I wonder why we didn't get a U.S. release for that. Liam Neeson stuff I would think does pretty well. And then this was another price drop. I think this one dropped down to $3. Pretty sure I do own this on DVD, but I got the Blu-ray of The Ottoman Lieutenant. I may have the Blu-ray of it already also, but I don't think so. I'm pretty confident that I don't actually. Actually, I could make this a combo pack. This just has the Blu-ray in it. So if I think the DVD's probably in a bin in the basement. So if I do turn it into a combo pack, it's going to be a ways out. I guess that's everything that's on the floor at least. Let's look at some the other odds and ends that I have over here. So this one dropped down to $10 and change. It is a Warner Archive by Cary Grant and Mr. Lucky. Sounded pretty good. It's 100 minutes, black and white. And apparently it was only that price briefly. Maybe it'll go back to that price. So you got to kind of like keep an eye out for this kind of stuff, because I don't know how long. It maybe a few hours. It was $10 and some change. Not very long. Now, this one, I had pre-ordered this from Target Buy 2 Get 1, and I never received it. It was supposed to come out several weeks ago. Walmart was getting them in store. Only one of my stores in the area carried it, and they had one copy left. It is Rumpelstiltskin. I haven't opened it. Firstly, I haven't had the ability to watch it yet, so no point if I didn't have to. And the slipcover has a nice crease down here, so I was hoping maybe I could get it in another store, or maybe I would eventually get my Target copy, but Target's continued to delay it. I think it's going to end up being canceled. I heard this was a Walmart exclusive, so I don't really know what's going on with it. But I was glad to find a copy of it. I don't know how limited it'll be or whatever. I think it probably won't be that limited. It was $17, so it's a reasonable price. But, we'll see what happens with it. I secured my copy. That's why I have to pre-order things at double the price. If people, it's weird. If you pre-order something that's a limited edition and it might actually sell, that's one thing. But if you're pre-ordering all this stuff that it's like the price of it's just going to be like a Black Friday thing where the price is like a third of what you pre-order it for. But let's continue. I did just get some stuff yesterday. Shout Factory has a sale. If it's still up, it's like a exclusive sale. So it's their exclusives. Not like their most new ones. Some of their recent ones aren't part of it, but a lot of their older exclusives, or not even that old necessarily, are 50% off. Plus, I had a 10% off code. The main thing I needed to get to $75 for free shipping. I hate paying for shipping. I got the Stephen Chow collection. This was $30 in the sale. So it was $60 down to $30, then with my 10% off, $27. And this has got 4 movies in it, so that was a bear me at $27. And then I kind of gave up. I'm like, I just can't find anything to put with it. I decided to get a few, though. I decided to get up to the $75. So this one has Caged Heat and Jackson County Jail. So a big draw of this one was Tommy Lee Jones is in Jackson County Jail. That was a big draw of this one. This one ended up being like 13 with my code, I think. Then I got The Crow Salvation. Yes, I know this movie is supposed to be awful. I do like the first Crow. I haven't seen any of the other ones, so I was kind of interested. It sounds like this is almost like DVD quality also. And even like the artwork, there's like a big... Battery's almost dead. We better finish this up, baby. There's a big thing. And then the disc has some scratches, so that was some BS. This movie seems pretty highly regarded. The artwork definitely draws you in. It's Twice Dead. So this one looked kind of interesting. Looked like something like Vinegar Syndrome would put out from 1988. So these are all Shout Factory exclusives. You can only get them on their website. And then The Flesh Eaters, which seems to be a highly regarded, like older 60s black and white movie. So I got that one. So altogether, I believe these are like $78 plus tax after my discounts. I'm not sure if I showed off some of the stuff. I probably showed off those. I have things like Expired here, which looks cool. The movie's supposed to be pretty bad, though. I did get I got this ages ago. I must have showed this one. This is a really fun movie. I really like that one. I'm not sure if I showed this one. To Catch a Thief 4K Steelbook. Now, this one was like, I think it was a price error on Amazon. They were matching some other places. It was like, I think it was like $14 pre-order. And then Amadeus, which I've had these for a while, so maybe I already showed those ones. But Amadeus 4K there. I did place an order with RareWaves. They had 10% off, plus they had some other deals, and the 10% off was stacked on. I got the beta test. So this, how much did these end up being? Maybe $11, maybe? Maybe. Where's the rest of them? I'm not real organized here. We're just winging it here on PMAC Movies. We got School in the Crosshairs, which these Third Window Films movies tend to be pretty pricey, so to be able to get it for $10, $11 or whatever I paid was pretty good. Didn't care for this movie that much, though. I did watch that one. The beta test was somewhat interesting. I did fall asleep during it, though, so I need to go through and watch it. Then we got Door. This actually has both Door movies, and it is region-free. The case is cracked pretty bad on this one. I did get some money back on these because RareWaves... You got to be careful with RareWaves because their shipping practices are not good. You will end up with damaged items. But this has Door 2 also on. It's all on one disc, which is interesting. But to get both movies for like $10, $11, I thought was a beer me. We do have some Italian movies in there. We got Silent Action, a Sergio Martino film. And it's a nice edition with a slip box. It's pretty hefty. I didn't even freaking open this. I thought I opened this one. Okay, we're not going to open it, but I didn't open that one. We got the Rainer Werner Fassbinder Volume 1. Now, I was thinking I had the regular volumes like this for the other two. There's 3 volumes. I have the limited edition volumes of 2 and 3, and now I have the regular edition of this one, which the regular edition... doesn't have the nicer box. The other ones had, I think, like a nicer box that I have over there. And they also have like a book with them. This was about $30. So a pretty good deal. 4 movies. Actually, this is more than 4 movies because some of the discs have multiple movies. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies. And then we have another one, another slipbox version from Fat Fractured Visions, similar to that other one I showed you, the Italian movie. This one is Doberman. I really know nothing about this movie. I looked into it a little bit. It has Vincent Cassel in it, who's in some good French stuff. It has Monica Bellucci in it. Looks like there's a gang and bank robbers. And I thought it looked kind of like a sci-fi sort of thing, but we'll have to look into that more. It's a pretty cool, the slip box and everything. This was definitely what I wanted. The Terminal Man. So Scream or Shout Factory released this one here in the US. This has a nice Arrow Video slipcover version. This is what the artwork you get on the Shout Factory one. But then this is a limited edition with a booklet and everything. So that's pretty nice. To be able to get that for, this was like, I think $15. And that was a pretty good deal. Then I also got the Arrow Video limited edition of Tommy for around the same price, around $15 this ended up being. This was a movie that I saw a preview for on another disc, and I looked into it. There was no US release of this. I saw it had a UK release, and it was quite affordable on RareWaves. So I said, okay, I'm going to wait until the next RareWaves sale and get this. And I did, because it was very, very affordable, $5-6. It is Meeting Evil here. Samuel L. Jackson and Luke Wilson. Pretty bad reviews, but I thought the preview of it looked pretty interesting. Then we got Typhoon Club. This does have a US release, but I was able to get this for way cheaper than the US release would be. I can't remember this. At least one of these I was surprised was supposed to be region free, even though it had a US release. And it might be this one. This one might be region free. I'm not sure. I have several players that should be able to play it. Then we got The Guard from Underground here. Another Asian movie. Let's see. This is a movie by Kiyoshi Kurosawa. He also put out Kier, Pulse, and Creepy. I think I do have all of those movies in the collection. This is region B. And then we have, this is region free, another one that sounded really interesting from Third Window Films. It is River here. So those Third Window Films ones were all like 10, 11 bones. So glad to be able to get those for what I thought was pretty solid prices. Let's see. Did I show that? I might have already showed this one. We got Cobra here. This was from eBay Pop Market, so this ended up being close to 50% off. And I got a couple other ones with that. Let's see, other box sets. Actually, this is one of the ones I got with it. House of Psychotic Women Volume 2. I do have the first one. These Severance sets on Pop Market on eBay, which is another Alliance store like Deep Discount. You can really find some good deals on Severance box sets. With these 20, you get 3 items, and it's 20% off if you get 3. And then these end up being less than 50% off, so you don't have to wait for the Severance sale. You can get these early, more or less, which I actually have another one on the way, another order from them. I already showed that. I think there's some other things that old PMAC hasn't shown yet, maybe, or maybe not. Oh, here's this one. This was another one from that RareWaves order, which this movie was very solid. The Last Stop in Yuma County. So you get, I believe Well Go released this in the U.S. This one, you get the nice shiny slipcover. It is region B. It's region locked. But this was a good movie. You get the booklet and everything. Solid movie there. I enjoyed that one. Like a nice indie movie. And I think that is gonna about do what I haven't. Oh no, we got some other stuff. I don't know. Maybe I've showed this. The Tale of Iwa's Ghost. This was a Target buy 2 get 1. And then we got some more Pop Market Night Watch, which I've watched both of these movies. They were okay. They weren't anything great, but pretty solid. For 2 movies and whatnot, I think it's worth like the $20 you can get it for during a sale. So that was a good one. And then this is another one from the RareWaves sale. I got this movie Night Siren, which this was a pretty solid indie movie. It was pretty good. I think I gave that one 3.5 slippies. So That was pretty good too. And I do have at least one other thing over here. Maybe just the one. But this is the grand finale here. I'm just going to grab this box set. It is a beast. It is a beast. Maybe I should do a whole video about this box set. This beastly box set. So this what we have here is the Frank Capra collection. This is a lot of movies right here, and it is a lot of older movies. This is, we're going back to the 20s, to 1939. So the oldest, most recent movie in this is from 1939. Now, this was at one point in the 30% off codes. I think only for 1 week, or maybe not even a week. I can't remember. It might have lasted a few days. I'm not sure. I don't know that it is anymore. I haven't checked. I don't believe I remember seeing it on there. But I think it ended up being 120 or 130 bucks, which was a good deal for this. Now, a couple of my discs were scratched a little bit, and they ended up giving me a little bit more off. I think it ended up being like 100 bucks for me. But this is a beast. This is a 20 movie limited edition set. Not really sure how limited it actually is. So if we take this J card off of there, we can open this baby up. I think this is how you open it up. I've opened it, but it's been a few weeks. Don't judge me. It's got like the magnetic closure. And we do get quite a few 4K editions here. So you got a lot of Blu-rays, a lot of 4Ks. Now, I do already have some of these movies. Lost Horizon I have on Blu-ray. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington I have on Blu-ray. Those might be the only two that I have. So most of these are new to the PMAC collection. But I didn't have those on 4K, of course, and they are in 4K. No digital codes in this, which is kind of a shame. It would have been nice to get a digital code. You don't get that. But yeah, I mean, and then you get like a Frank Capra, Mr. America documentary. Has its own case over here. So this is, how many actual cases do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 cases, I believe. Well, some of these have 2 discs because I think these 4Ks are going to be combos. Yeah. So you got quite a few discs here. What did it say? 21 movies, but how many? Did it say how many discs? Let's take a look here at this baby here. So we got 9 movies. 9 movies are on 4K. 20 movies. And then, if they got the 4K, they got the Blu-ray also. So you can do the math. PMAC can't. Not on the spot here. But this is a pretty cool set if you like classic cinema and things like that. And again, this is something that I wonder how cheap this may go on Please Rewind. Because Please Rewind is like buying directly from Sony. So I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if this got down to $100, maybe less than $100 on there eventually. It might not, though. It might. I mean, like I said, I don't know how limited these actually are. If it is actually somewhat limited, maybe it will never get below $100. And Sony is pretty bad now. I will say this. Sony used to be one of the best ones where you didn't have to worry about getting scratch discs. That is absolutely no longer the case. They must have transferred their disc manufacturing over to Mexico, because in this the most recent Please Rewind sale, some pretty badly scratched discs, and previous sales too. I remember getting some pretty bad scratched ones with like the circular scratches, which I can show you if I can find it. You should be able to see this on camera here. So this I Still Know What You Did Last Summer 4K disc. And their customer service is very good. It's a long scratch, but it's kind of light. But they got like where it's a circle, it's like all the way around like this, and then there's another one, like there's multiple of them. So that might actually affect playback. I mean, some of these, especially with 4Ks, they're going to be more susceptible to skipping and stuff from scratches. So, but that's everything. I've put 45 minutes into this video. So if you could leave PMac a like and a comment, I would appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts on anything I snagged up here today. Let me know if you want to see the new puppy, Avery. Very, very, very cute. Some people say even cuter than Layla. I don't know. They're both pretty darn cute. Let me know what you've bought lately. Did I say that already? And we'll see you next time on PMac Movie.